Arkansas Elite Welding Academy. We're here. They're doing their welding competition. That was good, guys. I'm not going to be able to do very much rolling around here, but I really want to thank you guys for coming down to this event. I want to thank T-Bird and everyone else at Arkansas for letting me come down here and, hanging out. I did a lot of cool stuff today. First for Danny on a lot of things. I did an okay TIG weld down there, and I did a downhill weld. At downhill, I don't know if you guys know much about it, but I haven't felt it in a while. And them sparks on my neck and burns in that crease in my elbow, it made my day today. It really did. I love it. And I want to tell everyone here thank you, because we couldn't do it if you guys didn't come. Don't matter who it is. You guys are just watching, competing. It's amazing. And I couldn't do it without T-Bird. This is my second time here, and pretty proud to say that I get to come down here. We put, I think, a little over 1,000 miles on. We're from Wyoming, and we left a foot of snow to come here, and it was the best decision I've done this year at least. So anyway, my mission nowadays is to kind of get you guys motivated. I used to be in your guys' shoes, and I was thinking last night, I have all this stuff on my phone. I got a ton of stuff. I got about, if you printed it off, probably about 50 pages of stuff I wanted to talk to you guys today, and I didn't know what to do. And I was thinking last night, and I'm slowly rolling. Look at that, just slowly rolling. Anyway, I wasn't sure what I wanted to say, so I figured, let's just talk about the truth. Let's talk about Danny. And I want to talk about when I was in your guys' shoes today, because I know some of you guys are here, some of you guys are happy, some of you guys are a little upset, some of you guys are learning still, some of you guys might not even weld it today. But I got a few things to tell you about. I want to tell you about the first time I ever seen a welder. I was sitting in a barber shop when I was a kid, believe it or not. They had them back then. I'm only 31 years old. I was sitting in a barber shop, and this guy walked in, and let me find him. He had them ostrich skin boots on, a square toe. He had some creased up jeans. They didn't have khakis back then, that wasn't a thing. And he had a nice white shirt on, kind of like this guy right here, Mr. Cole. And I seen that, and he just looked cool, you know what I mean? He came in, and he needed a haircut. And I just watched him, he sat in that chair. And I said, you know what? I said, I think I want to do that. And I heard him talk about his job, and I didn't know what he was. He was a rig welder then. I didn't know that. I didn't even know what welding was. And I seen that, and I'm like, I tell you what, son, I said, that's what I want to be. And so I was thinking about that today, and that's what I've done my whole life, is I seen that, I visualized it, and what I had was a vision. All you guys that want to be welders, I hope you have a vision. If your vision isn't welding, that's okay, but to be successful, you got to have a vision, and you got to believe in it. A lot of things in life, if you don't believe in it, they say manifestation, whatever it is. I call it belief. You got to have faith. You got to believe that you can do it. And I think that you guys all here can do it, because everyone in this room, I truly believe, there's a statistic. About 30% of the country goes to work and loves what they do. That means 70% of the country, and this is the world too probably, that means 70% of us don't go to our job, don't love it, or don't even have a job. So here, I feel like I'm here with 30% of the world that knows what they want. And I think you guys have a vision. And I just want you guys to believe that, the first time I met that welder, that was my vision. That was what I wanted to do. And maybe that, maybe some of these guys here can help you with that vision. Maybe I can help you with that. And maybe it's fitting, maybe it's not. Maybe it could be a lot of things. But I want you guys to know that you can't do anything if you don't believe in it. You got to believe in that vision. And I hope it's welding today. So, I was thinking a little bit more. I want to tell you guys about what happened to me. A lot of you guys might have questions, and you guys are more than welcome to ask some questions. Along the way, raise your hands. I don't care. I'll answer them. And if I don't see you, holler at me. I was real blessed. I grew up in Wyoming, and that first welding truck I ever seen, I didn't know about it. So anyway, I was a young kid. I was 17 years old. I got my first job. I was in the fab shop. It was a terrible fab shop. The worst one to break out in my opinion. We built vessels. You guys don't know what vessels is? They're big, thick iron, and they're a big chunk of pipe. You call them a vessel, though. Anyway, I did nothing extraordinary there. I was the fabricator prep guy. Prepped all the steel. But this company was really cool. They had about 12 welding rigs. You guys know what welding rigs are? Do you? Yeah, truck, right? And I was 17 years old. I just started at that company, and I was looking out the door one day, and I seen that, and I see this welding truck drive by. I was like, what's this? I see there's a Lincoln welder in there, and they told me about it, and it had mud tires. 17-year-old kid, mud tires, Lincoln, and a Ford. There ain't nothing better than that. And I said right there, that's my new vision. I said, I want to be a freaking rig welder. I'm going to be a rig welder. Anyway, I long story short, I worked there for 6 months. I was a helper, you know what I mean, cutting metal, grinding sparks, black boogers every night. It was wonderful. Anyway, that dream actually came to fruition, actually. I believed in it, right? Not so much. I had some doubts in myself. But anyway, one night, it was Thanksgiving. They called me up and they said, "Dan Carlin, you know how to do a wellhead?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And they said, "Well, we need you out here at midnight on this oil rig." You guys might know what an oil rig is, but a wellhead is pretty important. So I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness, they want me here in about 6 hours. What do I do? So I started calling my friends. And they're like, "Oh yeah, the wellhead is the most important thing on a drill, on a whole well. The whole thing, that's where all the oil comes out of the ground. It's important. You gotta make sure it's done right." And they told me how to do it. Anyway, I went out there, I believed in it, and I did it, and I had a wonderful wellhead. I mean, there's a lot of grinding along the way, right? Because that overhead I wasn't very good at. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. I wasn't as crispy as this guy right here. I wasn't dressed up, you know, Cole. And anyway, I got done with that wellhead just like today. I had them sparks on my neck. I had them burns in my elbows, and a lot of people, I had mud all the way up to my knees. I had mud in my boots, probably in my underwear, places we don't want to talk about. And anyway, I left there and it was a success. We did a pressure test, and it was a little lap weld. You would call it more like a 4F fillet, which is really weird, or a 4 overhead weld. Anyway, long story short, we did a pretty good job there, and it passed that pressure test, and I drove home, and I had that biggest smile on my face, and I made it. That was the first time I was a rig welder. That was the first time I did it. It was off to the rodeo after that. I continued to do a whole bunch of stuff, and my vision might have changed a little, but I still stayed with that rig weld. And after that, I did a lot of cool other stuff. I got into social media for you guys. Here I am rolling in here. Let me turn this way. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, that's going to be the blooper reel for this YouTube video. So anyway, I've seen a lot of guys on social media, and I was like, man, that's cool, you know. And a lot of guys were doing it wrong. They had a wrong vision, right? I did it all my life, and I wanted to start doing it. So I got into social media. We did a lot of cool things. And then unfortunately, you guys probably, I don't know if you guys ever heard my story, but I was involved in it. I was a passenger of a UTV accident. You guys probably know what a UTV is. Everyone thinks it's a sad day. And I might, just so you guys know, I might tear up a little bit when I'm talking about this, but it was my bachelor party, 2022, July 21st. We were coming down the mountain. It was my best friend who was driving, and I was in the back seat, and we were being good boys. Promise you, I was not doing anything bad. We were just going around the corner. We were going a little too fast. Anyway, and you know how that gravel, when you freaking start turning, you know, on that fresh gravel like snow, and you turn and you don't turn? Well, that's what happened to us. We didn't turn, and I ended up breaking my neck in that accident. I was actually got ejected. My seatbelt malfunctioned, and I was ejected. I ended up laying. I was like this. Couldn't move nothing. Woke up, couldn't move nothing. Couldn't talk hardly. When you get injured, you can't even make noise hardly when you're as high up. I broke my neck right at my shoulders. That's my C6. So you lose a lot of your diaphragm. So I was sitting there in the bushes. I was like, help, help, help. I couldn't do anything. That's how I was stuck, and it took about 20 minutes to find me. And all my friends were crying, you know, they're all sad. And I had my calm waters. These glasses I wear. They were sitting right out here. And a little bit of blood, a little bit of mud. I'm not lying to you. They were sitting up there, and I was looking at my glasses, and I was like, boys, I was like, it's not all freaking lost. We still got my glasses. So my glasses made it through that wreck. We always found the positive side of things, you know. And you know, even if your vision might fail a little bit, at least there's something positive in there. And that's my glasses. They're the ones that I still got them to this day. Anyway, that's my accident. And I remember I had a little. This is why I kind of talk about it today. I don't know what happened, but I was sitting in that operating room, and I was out of it. I don't know. I was like in and out of it. Didn't even know. Couldn't even like. But I heard voices. One voice was telling me that I had a 6-month-old daughter. She said she loved me. And I don't know who that was. I heard a voice that said, just believe. I'm like, what? Just believe. That's where I'm at today. And I'll believe. And it said, wiggle your toes. Whoever that voice was, I don't know who it was in that operating room or what was going on. Some of us might be religious. I believe that it might have been that. It said, believe and wiggle your toes every day and you'll be okay. Well, I still wiggle my toes to this day. And I still got a little bit of stuff coming back. I can't even move my feet. So that's kind of my story for the accident. It's been up from there. After my accident, I started going back into welding. When I was sitting in the hospital, I was in the hospital about 3 months. And I started getting down on myself, and I started seeing, they wrote Google ads about me, and everyone was saying I was dead. They said I was dead. They said I was in a tragic plant accident. And I'm like, huh? So I didn't go to Arkansas Elite. I don't know how to weld in a plant. I was like, I freaking, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be on a pipeline or something, right? Anyway, I seen that and I was kind of down on myself. I remember that believing, and I sat there and I looked on social media and I was like, golly, this is gonna be rough. Anyway, I couldn't find nothing but amazing comments on there. I thought people would make fun of me. I thought people would try to hurt me. I was self-conscious, man. When you get in an accident like this, there's stuff you don't even want to talk about that doesn't work, doesn't move like it used to. Some of it's embarrassing, right? And I found nothing but amazing comments on there. So my vision changed, but it still has welding in there, right? And when I got out of there and I seen that, I said, I gotta tell these people what the truth is. So anyway, weird stories over there. I started doing this. Now I'm traveling as much as I can. I just got out of the hospital again for a real bad bone infection. And now I sell keychains. You guys might have swung up by my table and you might have seen what I got for sale up there. It's nothing cool. It's nothing crazy. It's all humble. And the cool thing about that is I see a lot of the stuff that's on that table that's from the people in this room. Some of the vendors, like Rugged Charms and Outlaw Leather and Amplified, all these guys that are here, we kind of got a family again. So anyway, my vision might be changing right now, but it's still around welding. And like I said here, everything in life is temporary. That doesn't mean that you can't continue on. But maybe Danny Carlin can't do a wellhead again. I know I just went in there and did a bell hole with Nate. I'm old freaking slipping. I did that bell hole with him. It was ugly, but it might have passed some jobs. Maybe not down here, but it would have passed up there in North Dakota. Anyway, everything's temporary, guys. Everything's temporary, but you guys got to believe. So just remember, when you guys leave here, it's you know you should hear that saying from old Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. Well, that's not true. You guys, just because you might not win right now doesn't mean you give up. Just because you're not number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't mean you're not going to make an amazing hand out there. You know what I mean? When I was starting up and I seen that first welding rig, I was never good at welding. I failed at a lot of welding competitions. I did a lot of welding competitions like this. But I was like, man, I'm going to make it someday. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And finally, I won my first welding competition. And it felt amazing, but it was temporary. That never lasted. You know, we go on to the next ones, you know. And so anyway, I want you guys to remember that today. I want you guys to believe in your vision. And if this is your vision, then do it. If it's not your vision, go do your vision. Figure it out. You guys, if you got that vision and you believe in it, I guarantee, and watch me, you'll be successful. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for letting me be here. I want you guys to go enjoy this beautiful weather. Once again, I want to thank T-Bird and Arkansas Elite for letting me be here. And I always say this, it's a little corny, but I've got to stay on last on the end of my videos, everything like this, and I think it's real special. I used to say this, and I got it on the side of a welding hood now. It's see on the next weld. That morphed. My vision changed on that see on the next weld. I used to say it in the videos. I used to say it at the end of every video. But now I'm putting on my hats and shirts, keychains. It's different vision, same love. Anyway, I want to thank you guys, and yeah, we'll see you on the next weld. We love around here.
If you guys want to support the mission, here you go. This 4th of July, you can get you an American flag hat. If you guys like this video or any other videos, you can always hit my link in the bio, hit dhkwelds.com. Alright guys, we're down here in Tom Waters, down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I couldn't tell you exactly what part, but there's race cars back there, jambalaya. Anyway, I want to tell you guys how honored I am. We got our product down here in Louisiana, DHK Welds.